The midnight invitation. Alex Cooper slumped in his chair at Cosmic Coffee, fingers tapping impatiently against his laptop keyboard as lines of code blurred before his tired eyes. "This website won't launch itself," he muttered, reaching for his fourth espresso of the evening. The cafe buzzed with Halloween excitement. Paper skeletons dangling from the ceiling while baristas wore cat ears and witch hats. "Another late night, Alex?" asked Sarah, the friendly barista, as she slid him another coffee. "Deadlines wait for no man," Alex replied with a dramatic sigh. "Unlike ghosts and goblins." "My clients are real monsters," Sarah laughed and turned to serve the next customer, leaving Alex to his work. The door chimed as a tall figure entered. Drawing curious glances from patrons, the newcomer wore a flowing purple garment that seemed to shimmer with tiny lights, like stars woven into fabric. Alex barely noticed until the stranger stopped directly beside his. Table A, delicate hand with perfectly formed fingers, placed an envelope on his keyboard. The paper was deep indigo with silver filigree that seemed to move in the light. "What's this?" Alex asked, looking up. The messenger's face remained partially shadowed by a hood, but Alex caught a glimpse of unusual purple-tinted skin. "You have been chosen," came the soft reply. "Midnight tomorrow." "The address is inside." Before Alex could respond, the stranger glided away and disappeared through the door. "Weird promotion," Alex muttered. Opening the envelope, inside was an invitation printed on paper that felt strangely warm to the touch. "The honor of your presence is requested. The Grand Celestial Masquerade, where stars and mortals dance as one midnight tomorrow, 13 Astral Avenue. Costume required." Alex turned. The invitation over, searching for fine print or a company logo. "Must be for that new nightclub opening," he said to himself. "Odd marketing strategy, but I could use a break." The next evening, Alex stood before his bathroom mirror, adjusting the black cape he'd hastily assembled for his vampire costume. "Real creative?" "Cooper," he told his reflection, but at least it was cheap. He followed his phone's directions to an address at the edge of the city where an elegant mansion stood, surrounded by trees illuminated with thousands of tiny lights like stars had fallen, and nestled in the branches. "Fancy place for a club opening." Alex whistled as he approached. A doorman with unusually bright eyes nodded as Alex presented his invitation. The mansion's interior took his breath away. The ballroom ceiling appeared to be open to the night sky, though something about the constellations seemed unfamiliar. Guests in elaborate costumes mingled and danced, their outfits so realistic that Alex felt underdressed. "Amazing effects," he murmured, noticing how some guests appeared to float slightly above the floor. Others had skin in shades of blue, green, and purple with intricate patterns that glowed beneath the strange light. A hush fell over the gathering as a new figure entered the ballroom. She moved with graceful purpose, her gown the color of deep space with swirls of purple that seemed to contain actual nebulae. Her skin was a delicate lilac. Her eyes filled with starlight. Alex couldn't look away as she approached him directly. "You accepted my invitation?" she said, her voice melodic yet powerful. "I am Aya." "Nice to meet you," Alex replied with a nervous smile. "Great party, great costume, too." "The purple skin is incredible work." Aya tilted her head. "This is no costume," she said, "and this is no ordinary gathering. You are the one prophesied, are you not? The mortal who would join with the stars? I'm just a guy who got an invitation." Alex laughed. "But I'll play along. Is this some kind of immersive theater thing?" Aya smiled, revealing teeth that seemed to shimmer like opals. "Will you dance with me, Alex Cooper?" "How do you know my name?" Alex asked, suddenly uneasy. "The stars know all who are destined for their light," Aya replied, extending her hand. "Will you join me in the dance of binding?" Thinking it part of the entertainment, Alex shrugged. "Sure, why not? I could use some celestial binding in my life." The moment their hands touched, silver light erupted around them, the floor beneath their feet illuminated with intricate symbols. Guests formed a circle, raising their hands as they chanted in a language Alex didn't recognize. "What's happening?" Alex gasped as warmth spread from his hand throughout his body. Aya's eyes glowed brighter. "You have accepted the celestial bond," she said, The prophecy begins tonight. The room spun around them as the chanting grew louder. Alex felt dizzy. Light-headed, a band of light encircled their joined hands, then condensed into a bracelet around his wrist. "What did I just agree to?" he asked, voice barely a whisper. Aya leaned closer, her lips near his ear. "To be my consort, mortal, my celestial match, the one who will bridge our realms." The last thing Alex saw before losing consciousness was her smile, both beautiful and terrifying, as the stars above them seemed to swirl in celebration. Bound by starlight, Alex awoke with a jolt, his head pounding like he'd downed a dozen tequila shots. "What happened?" he groaned, touching his temple. His fingers brushed against something cool and metallic, a thin silver bracelet encircling his wrist. It pulsed with a subtle light that matched his heartbeat. "You are awake," came a soft voice. Alex sat up quickly, realizing he was no longer in the ballroom but in a circular chamber with walls that appeared to be made of transparent crystal. Beyond them, impossible landscapes stretched, floating islands, cascading waterfalls that flowed upward, and a sky filled with stars that moved in patterns he'd never seen. Aya stood by a curved window, her purple skin luminous against the backdrop of stars. "I feared the bonding might be too much for your mortal form," she said. Approaching him, "Okay, this is going too far," Alex said, scrambling to his feet. "Where am I?" "What drugs did you slip me?" "No substances were given to you," Aya replied, seeming genuinely confused. "You are in the Celestial Palace, in the realm of Astralis, my home." "Right." Alex laughed nervously. "And I'm just supposed to believe I'm in another dimension?" The door opened, and an elderly man entered. He wore robes embroidered with mathematical equations and astronomical charts. His eyes were entirely silver, without pupils. "The human is distressed, Princess Aya," he observed. "This is expected, Princess?" Alex echoed. "Dr. Chen, can you explain to him?" Aya asked. "He believes this is some form of deception." The old man nodded and approached Alex. "Young man, what you experienced was the celestial binding ceremony. Our realms intersect once every century. Allowing us to fulfill ancient prophecies that you received the invitation means you were chosen by the cosmic forces." Alex stared at them both. "You're telling me I accidentally married an alien princess? That's insane." "Not alien," Aya corrected. "Celestial. We are the keepers of the stars. My people maintain the balance of cosmic energies in your universe." "This can't be real," Alex muttered. He pinched himself, then winced. "Okay, so I'm not dreaming. Let's say I believe you. Why me?" "There must be billions of people on Earth." Dr. Chen produced a scroll that hovered in the air, unrolling itself to reveal glowing text. "The prophecy states that when the 3 moons align, a bridge between realms will form through the union of starlight and earth. The one who accepts the invitation willingly yet unknowingly shall become the Nexus. And that's me," Alex said flatly. "The Nexus, indeed," Dr. Chen replied, adjusting his spectacles. "The bracelet you wear is proof the astral bond has been initiated. Connecting your life force to Princess Aya's, you share energy now." As if responding to his thoughts, the bracelet glowed brighter. Alex noticed Aya wore a matching one. "This is crazy," Alex said, pacing the room. "I have a life, work, projects, friends. I can't just be married to someone from another dimension." Aya's expression fell, the light around her dimming slightly. "The bond is not yet complete," she said quietly. "The final ceremony must occur within 1 lunar cycle. If you truly wish to reject the connection, you may return to your world and the bond will fade. But know there are consequences." "What consequences?" Alex asked. "Our realms are aligning for the first time in centuries," Dr. Chen explained. "Without a stable nexus, the energy transfer between worlds becomes chaotic. Stars die prematurely. Cosmic storms ravage planets. The last time a binding failed, your world experienced what you called the Dark Ages." "So no pressure," Alex muttered. "Just the fate of civilization." Aya approached him. her movements graceful as she took his hand. The contact sent a warm current up his arm. "I understand your confusion," she said, her voice gentle. "I, too, was surprised when the stars chose a mortal, but I have faith in their wisdom." Despite himself, Alex felt drawn to her. There was something in her eyes, an ancient loneliness that resonated with his own. "Can I at least go home and think about this?" he asked. "Process everything?" "Of course." Aya nodded. "Dr. Chen will prepare the return portal. But remember, the bracelet remains. Wherever you go, our connection remains. And as the bond strengthens, you may experience changes. Changes? What changes?" Dr. Chen cleared his throat. Enhanced perception, sensitivity to cosmic forces, dreams of starlight, perhaps even manifestations of celestial energy. "Great," Alex sighed. "So I might start shooting lasers from my eyes." "Unlikely," Dr. Chen replied seriously, "though your perception of time and space may alter." Aya led Alex through crystal corridors to a chamber where a circle of light pulsed on the floor. "Step into the portal," she instructed. "Think of your home, it will take you there." Alex hesitated. "Will I see you again?" Something flickered in Aya's expression. Hope. "Perhaps, if you wish it," she said. "The bracelet connects us. Speak my name under moonlight, and I will hear you." Without thinking, Alex reached out, brushing his fingers against her cheek. Her skin was warm, with a subtle texture like velvet. Their touch created tiny sparks of light that danced between them. "This is insane," he whispered. "But somehow I'm not as freaked out as I should be." "The stars chose wisely," she replied, a small smile lifting her lips. "Return safely, Alex Cooper. We have much to discuss when next we meet." Alex stepped into the circle, feeling the energy surge around him. The last thing he saw was Aya's face, her eyes reflecting constellations he couldn't name. Then everything dissolved into brilliant light. He blinked, finding himself standing in his apartment the morning. Sun streamed through his window as if nothing had happened. Only the silver bracelet around his wrist and the lingering scent of stardust proved it hadn't been a dream. His phone buzzed with a text from his friend Isabel. "How was the party? Meet anyone interesting?" Alex stared at the message, then at the bracelet. "You have no idea," he murmured as tiny points of light began dancing around his fingertips, between two realms. 3 days after returning from Australis, Alex sat in his favorite coffee shop, staring blankly at his laptop screen. The website code he should have been fixing looked like hieroglyphics every time he tried to focus. His vision would blur and he'd see patterns of constellations overlaying reality. Earth to Alex. Isabel waved her hand in front of his face. "That's the 3rd time you've zoned out. You okay?" Alex blinked, forcing himself back to the present. "Yeah, just tired," he lied, discreetly pulling his sleeve over the silver bracelet that occasionally pulsed with light. "Tired doesn't explain why your coffee is floating," Isabel whispered urgently. Alex looked down and gasped. His mug hovered an inch above the table. Tiny motes of light spiraled around it like miniature stars. He quickly grabbed the cup, spilling some on his jeans. "What the hell was that?" Isabel demanded, her eyes wide. "And don't you dare say nothing." Alex ran his hand through his hair. "You wouldn't believe me if I told you." "Try me," she challenged, leaning forward. "I've known you since high school. Cooper, something's different. Your eyes look weird, almost like they're reflecting stars, and yesterday I swear I saw you walk through a solid table without noticing." Alex sighed. "Remember that costume party I went to? It wasn't exactly a party." 20 minutes later, after explaining everything, Alex waited for Isabel to laugh or call him crazy. Instead, she stared at his bracelet with fascination. "So you're basically space married to a purple alien princess," she summarized. "That's actually the most interesting thing that's ever happened to you." "Celestial." "Not alien," Alex corrected automatically, then caught himself. "And we're not exactly married, yet apparently there's another ceremony." "Have you talked to her since you got back?" Alex shook his head. "I've been trying to pretend it didn't happen. But these powers, or whatever, keep getting stronger. Last night, all the electronics in my apartment went haywire. Then I had this dream where Aya was trying to reach me. She seemed worried. Maybe you should call her, Isabel suggested. She gave you away, right? Under moonlight? Before Alex could respond, the lights in the cafe flickered. Shadows stretched unnaturally across the walls. The temperature dropped suddenly, their breath forming clouds in the air. That's not me, Alex whispered. Rising to his feet, the bracelet on his wrist burned cold. A dark figure materialized near the door. Humanoid, but with proportions slightly wrong. Its eyes glowed red as it scanned the room, then locked onto Alex. Nexus! It hissed, in a voice like grinding glass. The bond must break. Customers screamed and scattered as the figure glided toward them. Alex instinctively pushed Isabel behind him, raising his hand defensively. To his shock, light erupted from his palm, forming a shield of pulsing energy. The creature recoiled. The bond grows strong. It snarled. Commander Rena sends a message. Reject the princess or your world suffers. With that, the entity dissolved into shadow. The cafe returned to normal, except for the overturned chairs and frightened patrons. Okay, Isabel said, her voice shaking. I definitely believe you now. Who's Commander Rena? No idea, Alex replied, staring at his still glowing hand. But I think I need to talk to Aya. In the celestial palace, Aya paced her chamber, stars dimming and brightening with her agitated steps. Her 5 slender fingers traced patterns in the air, monitoring the connection to Alex. He was attacked, she told Dr. Chen, who sat cross-legged on a floating cushion. I felt the disturbance. Commander Rena's work. No doubt, Dr. Chen replied grimly. The military council opposes the binding. They fear human influence in our realm. They fear change, Aya countered, her purple skin flushing darker with emotion. The old ways are failing. The stars grow dim. Our people need new energy. New perspectives, that's why the prophecy exists. The commander has considerable support. Dr. Chen warned, many believe humans are too primitive to share our knowledge. Aya stopped pacing. My father chose me to lead for a reason. I will not abandon the prophecy or Alex. Her expression softened. He is not what I expected. How so, princess? He questions everything, fears nothing, sees wonder where we see only function. Aya smiled slightly. When he looked at the cosmic falls, he didn't calculate their energy output, he simply found them beautiful. It was refreshing. Dr. Chen's silver eyes twinkled. The human affects you. The bond affects me, Aya corrected quickly. Of course, Dr. Chen nodded knowingly. Still, we must prepare should he reject the final ceremony. He won't, Aya interrupted. A disturbance rippled through the chamber. The air shimmered. Forming a mirror-like surface, Alex's face appeared, surrounded by moonlight. Aya? His voice echoed. Are you there? Something happened. I think I was attacked. Aya moved to the portal, her heart quickening. Alex, I've been trying to reach you. Sorry about that, he replied. Been a bit busy freaking out over suddenly having cosmic powers. Did you know I made my coffee float today? My friend Isabel saw everything. Despite the serious situation, Aya found herself smiling at his casual tone. Your connection to Astralis grows stronger. The bracelet channels our energy. Yeah, about that, someone named Commander Rena sent a shadow creature after me. Alex's expression hardened. Care to explain? Aya's face fell. Commander Rena leads our military council. She opposes the binding between our realms. She believes humans would abuse our knowledge. So I'm caught in some celestial political drama. Alex sighed. Fantastic. I'm sorry. Aya said softly, I never intended to bring you danger. Alex's expression softened. It's not your fault, but I need to understand what I've gotten into. Can I come back? To Astralis? Aya couldn't hide her surprise. You wish to return? If shadow monsters are going to attack me and my friends, I'd like to know why, Alex replied. Besides, my apartment is getting crowded with floating objects, Aya laughed, the sound like chimes in a gentle breeze. I'll open a portal at midnight. Go to where we first met the mansion. It's a date, Alex said, then awkwardly added, I mean, not a date, just a meeting between two people who are accidentally bonded by cosmic forces. I understand the meaning, Aya replied, amusement in her voice, until midnight, Alex Cooper. As his image faded, Aya turned to find Dr. Chen watching her with interest. What? She asked. Nothing, Princess, he replied. I merely observe that for someone concerned only with prophecy and duty, you seem rather pleased by his return. Aya turned away, but not before Dr. Chen noticed the constellation of lights that had appeared around her, the Australis equivalent of a blush. Prepare the council chamber, she instructed. They must hear him out. As you wish, Dr. Chen bowed. Though I suspect Commander Rena will not make this easy. Aya looked out at the vast expanse of stars. Few things of value ever are, she murmured, touching the bracelet that connected her to Alex. The Council's decree. The mansion at 13 Astral Avenue looked abandoned in the midnight gloom. Its windows dark and uninviting. Alex hesitated at the gate. The silver bracelet pulsing urgently against his wrist, Isabel stood beside him, clutching her jacket against the unseasonable chill. You don't have to come, Alex said. In fact, you probably shouldn't. Isabel rolled her eyes. My best friend is cosmic engaged to a star princess. There's no way I'm missing this. She poked his arm. Besides, who's going to believe you if this all goes sideways? You need a witness. Alex smiled gratefully. Just stay close, and if anyone offers you glowing food, say no. They approached the mansion's weathered door as Alex raised his hand to knock. The bracelet flared with light. The door swung open on its own, revealing not a dusty foyer but a corridor of crystalline light. Whoa, Isabel breathed. That's definitely not earthly architecture. Alex took a deep breath and stepped through the familiar sensation of weightlessness enveloped him as the portal transported them. Isabel's startled gasp echoed as they materialized in the crystal chamber of the celestial palace. Aya waited, flanked by Dr. Chen and two guards with armor that shifted like liquid starlight. Her purple skin seemed to glow more intensely than before, her eyes brightening when they landed on Alex. You came, she said, moving forward, and you brought someone. Her tone carried curiosity rather than accusation. This is Isabel, Alex explained. My best friend. She saw the shadow creature. I figured if I'm involved in this, she deserves to know why. Isabel stared openly at Aya, then remembered herself and attempted an awkward curtsy. Nice to meet you. Your Highness, awesome realm you've got here. Aya's lips curved in amusement. Welcome. Friend of Alex, the council awaits us. Her expression grew serious. I must warn you. Both of you, Commander Rena has gathered significant support. The binding between Alex and myself has created political complications. When doesn't it? Alex sighed. Lead the way. They walked through corridors that seemed to bend reality, passing chambers where celestials worked with energy and light. Some paused to stare at the humans, their silver eyes curious or suspicious. Your people don't get many visitors. I'm guessing, Alex commented. You are the first humans to walk these halls in over 5 centuries, Dr. Chen replied. The last binding ended poorly. That's reassuring, Alex muttered. They entered a vast circular chamber where 7 celestials sat on crystalline thrones arranged in a semicircle. Their forms were more ethereal than Aya's, as if they existed partially in another dimension. At the center stood a severe-looking woman in military regalia. Her purple skin was darker than Aya's, marked with symbols of rank. Her eyes narrowed as they entered Princess Aya. She acknowledged coldly, You bring the human and an additional mortal contamination. Watch who you're calling contamination, lady, Isabel whispered, earning a warning glance from Alex. Commander Rena Aya replied, her voice steady. Council members, may I present Alex Cooper, the prophesied Nexus, and his companion, Isabel. An elderly council member leaned forward. The prophecy speaks of 1 mortal bridge, not 2. Isabel is here as witness only. Aya explained, she will not participate in any binding. Her presence is irrelevant. Commander Rena cut in. What matters is that this binding threatens everything we have built. The humans are not ready for our knowledge. Their world is chaotic, violent. They wage wars over resources while we maintain the very stars that give them life. Alex stepped forward. With all due respect. Commander, we didn't ask for this. I was invited, remember? By your people. If humans aren't ready, maybe you should have thought of that before sending mysterious invitations. Murmurs rippled through the council. Commander Rena's eyes flashed dangerously. The invitation was sent according to prophecy. Dr. Chen intervened. The stars themselves guided it to the chosen one. And we are to trust our future to stellar determinism? Commander Rena scoffed. I've seen what happens when our power leaks into the human realm. Their myths of gods and monsters come from half-understood glimpses of our kind. When they cannot understand, they fear. When they fear, they destroy. That's not entirely fair, Alex argued. Yes, humans make mistakes, we're flawed, but we also create, adapt, and grow. Maybe that's why your prophecy chose a human, because you need our perspective. One of the council members, a woman with intricate markings across her forehead, spoke. The human makes an interesting point. The stars have dimmed in recent centuries. Our isolation may be contributing to our decline. Commander Rena slammed her fist on a crystalline table, causing fractures to spread across its surface. Decline? We control the cosmic forces. What could we possibly learn from creatures who barely understand their own solar system? Wonder, Aya said quietly. Joy, creativity. She moved to stand beside Alex. In the short time I've been connected to Alex, I've felt more than in centuries of existence. Their emotions are vibrant, their perspectives fresh. Alex felt warmth spreading from the bracelet up his arm as Aya defended him. Her nearness created a subtle harmony between them. Like perfectly tuned instruments playing the same note, the final binding ceremony approaches. Dr. Chen reminded the council, if completed, the bridge between realms becomes permanent if rejected. Both realms face cosmic instability. Commander Rena's expression hardened. Then let us end this now. She raised her hand. Energy gathering around her fingers, I move to sever the binding immediately. You cannot, Aya protested. It would kill him! A regrettable but necessary sacrifice. Commander Rena replied coldly, for the safety of our realm. Before anyone could react, Rena released a bolt of energy directly at Alex's chest. Isabel screamed. Alex raised his arms instinctively. What happened next astonished everyone. The energy struck the bracelet and, instead of harming Alex, it absorbed into the silver band. Light erupted between Alex and Aya, forming a visible thread connecting their hearts. The bond protects them. Dr. Chen observed with wonder, it's stronger than we realized. Commander Rena stared in disbelief. Impossible. A partial binding shouldn't withstand a direct severance. Unless, the elderly council member said slowly, unless the connection has grown beyond the prophecy, unless there is genuine emotion involved. Alex and Aya exchanged glances, both suddenly aware of the warmth flowing between them. I believe, Dr. Chen said, eyes twinkling, that what we're witnessing goes beyond cosmic forces, what humans call... Don't say it, Alex warned. Feeling his face flush, attraction, Dr. Chen finished with a smirk. Perhaps even the beginning of love. Isabel grinned. Called it? This is absurd! Commander Rena sputtered. A celestial cannot love a human, it defies natural order. Yet the evidence stands before us, the female council member observed. The bond grows stronger daily. If the final ceremony proceeds, their connection could revolutionize our understanding of cosmic energy. The council murmured among themselves. Finally, the eldest spoke. We will not interfere with the prophecy. The final binding ceremony will proceed as ordained in 7 days' time. At that moment, Alex Cooper must make his choice freely if he accepts, The bridge between realms becomes permanent if he rejects. All connections will sever. He fixed his silver eyes on Alex. Choose wisely. Human, the fate of two worlds rests on your decision. As the council dispersed, Commander Rena approached Alex. Her voice dropped to a threatening whisper. This isn't over. Human, my agents walk your world. Even now, they prepare contingencies should you complete this binding. Those you love will suffer. She glided away. Leaving Alex shaken, Isabel squeezed his arm reassuringly. Charming woman, she muttered. Real people person. Aya approached them, concern evident in her luminous eyes. I'm sorry you shouldn't have been subjected to that. Alex found himself reaching for her hand automatically. The contact sent sparks dancing across their skin. I'm starting to think there's a lot more to this bond than either of us realized. Aya nodded, her eyes meeting his. 7 days, Alex, then you must decide. What about Commander Rena's threats? Isabel asked. She doesn't seem like the type to bluff. Dr. Chen joined them. The princess will assign guards to protect your earthly domain, but caution is advised. Commander Rena has resources. Alex looked from Isabel to Aya, feeling the weight of worlds on his shoulders. 7 days to decide the fate of two realms, no pressure. You won't be alone, Aya said softly, her fingers intertwining with his. Whatever you decide, I will honor it. The light connecting them pulsed in harmony with their heartbeats. Neither mentioned what Dr. Chen had suggested, that their bond might be growing into something more personal than prophecy. Had intended as they left the council chamber, Alex couldn't help noticing how perfectly Aya's hand fit in his, or how the stars in her eyes seemed to shine just for him. 7 days to make an impossible choice. And all he could think about was how much he'd miss those stars if he said no. A choice beyond stars. The 7 days passed in a blur of two worlds. For Alex, each morning meant Earth, design meetings, coffee with Isabel, and explaining away the increasingly frequent cosmic phenomena that followed him. Strange lights appeared when he was stressed. Electronic devices activated at his touch. And twice he'd woken to find himself floating above his bed. Each evening meant Astralis, hours spent with Aya, learning about her world, her duties, her dreams. They walked through gardens where flowers bloomed in impossible colors, visited observatories where celestials monitored distant galaxies, and stood beneath waterfalls that flowed with liquid starlight on the 6th night. They sat together on a floating terrace, overlooking the vast expanse of Aya's realm. Purple and blue nebulae swirled in the distance. Stars pulsed in rhythm like heartbeats. Tomorrow is the ceremony, Aya said quietly, her purple skin luminous against the cosmic backdrop. You must decide. Alex watched light dance across her features. The council made it clear. What's at stake, he replied. Cosmic stability, balance between worlds, the whole fate of the universe thing. I didn't bring you here to discuss the council's concerns. Aya turned to face him, her eyes reflecting constellations. I want to know what you want. Alex, not what prophecy demands, not what duty requires, what you desire. The directness of her question caught him off guard. In the week they'd spent together, something had changed between them. The initial shock and resistance had given way to genuine connection, to moments of shared laughter and quiet understanding. He found himself looking forward to their time together, missing her when they were apart. What I want, Alex repeated. Considering a week ago, I wanted my normal life back now, I'm not so sure. His finger traced the silver bracelet that connected them. Normal feels inadequate compared to all this to you, Aya's expression softened. Tiny lights appearing around her like fireflies, the celestial equivalent of a blush. You've changed me as well. Before you, I understood duty, power, cosmic forces, but you've shown me wonder, spontaneity, the beauty of imperfection. I'm very good at imperfection, Alex laughed. It's my specialty. It's beautiful, Aya insisted. Your world celebrates flaws, embraces change, creates art from chaos. Our realm has been stagnant, Perfect but unchanging for millennia, we need your humanity as much as your world needs our stability. Alex found himself moving closer, drawn by something beyond the bracelet's magic. So what happens if I say yes tomorrow? Do I become some kind of cosmic diplomat? Split my time between worlds? The completed binding would transform you, Aya explained. Not fully celestial, but no longer fully human. You would walk between realms freely. Aging slowly, your lifespan would extend to match mine. And how long is that? Alex asked. The average celestial lives about 5,000 years, she replied. Matter-of-factly, Alex whistled. That's a lot of birthdays to remember. We don't celebrate birthdays, Aya said, then smiled. Though perhaps we should start another human tradition to adopt. Their hands found each other, fingers intertwining naturally. The connection between them flared, sending cascades of light spiraling around them. And what about us? Alex asked softly. Is this just cosmic politics? Or is it something more? Aya's free hand rose to touch his cheek, her touch sending warmth through his entire body. The prophecy brought us together, she whispered. But what I feel now goes beyond ancient words. I believe your Dr. Chen was right. What's growing between us is something neither of our worlds fully understands. Alex leaned forward, closing the distance between them. Their lips met in a kiss that sent shockwaves through both realms. Stars brightened. Auroras danced across Earth's skies. For that moment, two worlds existed in perfect harmony. When they separated, both were breathless, surrounded by a nimbus of cosmic energy. I think I've made my decision, Alex said, his voice husky. The binding ceremony took place in the Grand Celestial Hall, a structure that seemed to exist simultaneously in multiple dimensions. The entire council attended, along with hundreds of celestials. All eyes were on Alex as he entered, wearing ceremonial robes woven with threads of starlight. Even Isabel had been given a place of honor, though she kept shooting nervous glances at Commander Rena, who stood rigid with barely contained fury. Dr. Chen presided over the ceremony, his silver eyes reflecting the solemnity of the occasion. Today, the prophecy reaches its culmination, he announced. The bridge between realms will either become permanent or dissolve forever. Aya stood on a dais of crystal, resplendent in robes that seemed to contain actual galaxies. Her eyes found Alex's, conveying both strength and vulnerability. Approach. Nexus. Dr. Chen instructed. Alex climbed the steps to stand before Aya. The bond between them pulsed visibly now, connecting their hearts with threads of light. The final binding requires 3 elements. Dr. Chen explained, the bracelet of connection. He gestured to their wrists. The chalice of unity. He presented a cup filled with liquid starlight, and the oath of choice. Commander Rena stepped forward. Before the human speaks, let him know the full consequences. Should he complete this binding, he will never fully belong to his world again. His human connections will wither as he outlives them. His mortal family will die while he persists. Does he accept this isolation? Murmurs spread through the assembly. Alex felt doubt creeping in. Commander Rena was right. What about his parents, his friends, Isabel? Could he watch them age and die while he remained unchanged? Commander Rena speaks truth, Dr. Chen acknowledged, but offers only half the picture. Yes, the human world moves swiftly, but what the binding takes with one hand, it gives with another. A new family, a new purpose, powers beyond mortal comprehension, and a connection that transcends ordinary bonds. Alex looked at Aya, finding certainty in her starlit gaze. He thought of their kiss, of the worlds that had aligned in that moment. It is time, Dr. Chen said. Alex Cooper, do you freely accept the final binding? Do you choose to become the bridge between worlds, to join your life force with Princess Aya of Astralis, to serve as nexus between stars and Earth? The hall fell silent. All of Astralis seemed to hold its breath. Alex took a deep breath. I've been thinking about what to say at this moment, something profound about destiny or duty, but that's not why I'm here. He turned to address the assembly. I didn't come to fulfill your prophecy. I came because in the short time I've known Aya, She's shown me wonders I never imagined. She's taught me that the universe is vaster, stranger and more beautiful than I ever dreamed. He faced Aya again, taking her hands in his. I choose this binding not because stars ordained it, but because in all the infinite cosmos, somehow we found each other. That's the real miracle, worth any sacrifice, worth any change. Tears like liquid diamonds formed in Aya's eyes. You speak as if this is your choice alone, she said, her voice carrying through the hall. But I too choose this binding, this man, this future. Our worlds need each other as we do balance and chaos, eternity and change, stars and earth together. They reached for the chalice. Each drank half the starlight within moments. Energy surged between them, expanding outward in concentric waves. The bracelets dissolved, replaced by matching constellations that appeared on their wrists, permanent markers of their bond. The binding is complete. Dr. Chen announced, "The bridge between realms stands." The assembly erupted in cheers. Celestials floated in celebration, trailing stardust. Isabel whooped and applauded, tears streaming down her face. Even some council members nodded in approval. Only Commander Renna remained unmoved. "This changes nothing," she declared. "I do not recognize this union. The military council withdraws support." "Your objection is noted, Commander," Dr. Chen replied calmly. "But the stars themselves have spoken. Look above them." The cosmic ceiling of the hall had transformed. The constellations had rearranged themselves, forming new patterns never before seen in either realm. Where once stars had been dying, new ones blazed to life. "The renewal begins," Aya said, wonder in her voice. "Our worlds rebalance." Alex felt the change within himself as well. His perception expanded. He could see energy flowing through all things, connections between particles, the subtle dance of quantum forces. Yet at the same time, his humanity remained, his emotions, his memories, his capacity for wonder. "What happens now?" he asked. Aya smiled, the expression both regal and tender. "Everything, whatever we choose. This is just the beginning." In that moment, on the precipice of unlimited possibility, Alex did the most human thing possible. He pulled Aya into his arms and kissed her deeply. Starlight erupted around them, bathing the hall in cosmic fire. Isabel cheered louder. "That's my best friend, dating outside his species and saving the universe." Commander Renna stormed from the hall, but few noticed. Her opposition seemed insignificant against the cosmic forces now in motion. As Alex and Aya separated, breathless and laughing, Dr. Chen approached with a knowing smile. "The prophecy spoke of a bridge between worlds," he said, "but perhaps it understated the case. What you've created is something new entirely, a path forward for both realms." "And for us?" Aya asked. Her fingers intertwined with Alex's. Dr. Chen's eyes twinkled with ancient wisdom. "That, my dear princess, is entirely up to you. The stars may guide our paths, but it is our choices that define them." Alex looked at the woman beside him, not quite human, not quite alien, but perfect in her uniqueness. Then he gazed beyond her to the infinite cosmos, now partially under his guardianship. Somehow, a mistaken invitation had led him across the boundaries of worlds to find something he never knew he was seeking. "I choose us," he said simply. "Every day, for the next 5,000 years, I choose us." The stars above them pulsed in harmony, as if the universe itself approved. As night fell on Earth, people across the world stepped outside. Drawn by an inexplicable urge to look upward, they gasped at the unprecedented meteor shower that painted the sky, cosmic fireworks celebrating a union that would forever change two worlds, the space between stars and Earth. A new story was just beginning.